Surviving autism parenting burnout is what we're talking about today. Why autism parents are running on empty and what to do about it. This is an important topic because this is what I'm seeing across the board in every single one of these autism parent groups that I'm in. I see a number of posts per day where parents are like, that's it, I can't do this anymore. And it makes me nervous because of what I told you in a number of videos ago about the mom a couple months ago who committed suicide because she was so overwhelmed as a mom with a child with autism. I don't know about you, but I've been seeing these videos of parents with very extreme cases of children with autism who are very violent, very destructive. But autism children don't even have to be that violent to cause burnout in parents. So let's talk about burnout, okay? And what burnout can look like. Because I feel like a lot of, as much as there are parents who have children with autism and are burnt out, and they know they're burnt out. They're like, oh my goodness, I'm so overwhelmed. I know I'm burned out. I feel like there are also a number of parents who are burnt out and they don't know it. So what they'll do is say, oh, well, today was a tough day, but I'm pushing through. Or they'll say, today was not that bad. It wasn't as bad as some other days. We're okay. But they don't recognize they're burnt out. And I feel like it's important for them to be able to know that they're burnt out. It's not like you have, like yesterday was a burnout day and today isn't. Burnout is burnout. And if you don't even know that you're burnt out, you don't know what to do about it. So we're going to talk about this today. Let's look at the definition of burnout, and then let's look at what burnout looks like in parents with children with autism. Okay. Burnout. I looked this up online. Exhaustion of physical or emotional strength or motivation, usually as a result of prolonged stress or frustration. We know what burnout is. But a lot of people will mask it, or they'll suppress it, or they'll ignore it, or they're just plain in denial. Okay? So that's why we're taking a detailed look at this definition for what burnout is. And I want you to be able to recognize it in your own life instead of ignore it or deny it. Okay? To cause or fail, wear out, or become exhausted, especially from overwork or overuse. Yeah. And this one, I want you to pay attention to, this definition. Burnout. To be forced to stop working because you have become ill or very tired from working too hard. There are moms, parents, who feel like they can't go any further. And they try to push through and they're like, I can't. Which is what happened to that mom who committed suicide. Or you have these parents out here who are like, I need to give my 8-year-old up for adoption. Or there are parents who are abusing their children because something in them is like, I can't. Or most of us, we're like, we could never hurt our kids. But your own body is breaking down because you are burnt out. So let's talk about what's happening and what needs to be done, what you can do about it, okay? What burnout looks like for autism parents. Constant exhaustion, irritability, frustration, emotional numbness. Do you find that you're like exhausted all the time and irritable? Somebody says your name, you're like, what? Because your expectation is that someone else is going to want something, and you're already too tired of giving. Sound familiar? You're frustrated with everything. There's a knock on the door. Ugh, what is it now? The phone rings. Who is it? You're scared to answer the phone. Yeah. Feeling guilty for needing a break or feeling resentful toward your responsibilities. It's dinner time and you have to feed the people. And you're like, I got to make dinner. Maybe you don't have a kid with autism. You just maybe you're watching this and you don't have a child with autism, and you may feel that you identify with some of these things in here. You might be burned out. You might benefit from some of the things in this video. Okay? Forgetfulness, brain fog, or withdrawing from people and activities. Something that might meant to be fun, you might be like, you know what? I don't even have the energy. Things that are normally fun, you're like, I'm fun doesn't even sound like fun. Burnout. Yeah. You always feel like you're in a hurry, behind schedule, or you're missing something. I know there's something I'm supposed to be doing and I just can't remember. We gotta hurry up and get through this because you don't have time to slow down because there's something else that needs to be done. Burnout. Okay? Let's talk about why burnout happens so often. Never-ending mental load of therapies, schedules, behaviors, advocacy, emotional regulation, over and over, all the things, all the time you're responsible for, you have to stay on top of, being pulled in different directions. You're always asking to do this, do that, fill out the paperwork, return the email, return the phone call. It's never ending. Yeah. Lack of consistent support or people who get it. Listen, I already decided I'm not explaining myself. I'm telling you what it is. This is what I have to do. This is what we're going through. The people who are like, I just don't understand. Yeah, if you don't understand, Google it. That doesn't even make sense to me because, the lady down the street that I know, her son has autism and I don't understand. I'm over it. I'm a woman of a certain age. I don't have to explain anything to anybody. You're adding to my burnout. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on already. The last thing I need to do is add you to my burnout list. Stop explaining yourself to everybody who it's one thing whenever somebody doesn't understand and they want to know. They're genuinely curious. There's another thing whenever people are committed to misunderstanding you because they just want to question whatever you have going on. Move past them and that and move on with your life. That's just a tip from me to you. Unrelenting pressure to always be strong and resourceful. Girl, you got this. That doesn't help me. If I say I'm struggling, don't condemn me by saying, oh, God's bigger than that. I know God's bigger than that. That doesn't mean I'm not struggling. That's my reality. That doesn't mean I'm not praying. That doesn't mean I don't have faith. Unrelenting pressure to always. It's a battle. That battle's not yours. It's the Lord's. It is. But that doesn't mean I don't have this reality. It doesn't mean your faith's not strong. It means that you have this pressure to be bigger and better than you are. Sometimes you're just struggling and you need realistic help. Sometimes that's just what it is. The grief that comes with the gap between expectations and reality. There's the reality of what needs to be done, and then there's these expectations. And you can't close that gap. And the only person that's supposed to meet those expectations is you, because you're the parent. And it's overwhelming. Burnout. That's what that is. Let me give you some signs that it's time to pause and reassess, because I feel like that's important. We don't take the time to say, okay, let me take a break. Let me take a break and stop and take a look at what's going on so that I can decide how I need to move forward so we can find success in this situation. We don't, because we're going so much, and let me look at my schedule and what needs to be done, and okay, this spilled, I got to clean up the spilled milk, and I got to, okay, and now I got to deal with the car, and and the washing machine broke, and stuff is always going. But sometimes we need to take a moment. Here are some signs that you need to pause and reassess. You're having some physical health symptoms: headaches, fatigue, digestive issues. Maybe you saw your doctor and you're talking to your doctor about headaches. You're talking to them about, your belly's been a little, you've been really tired lately. And doctors, they tell you what they know. They ask you about your age. They ask you about your activity level. Have you been drinking your water? That kind of thing, right? And so they give you some suggestions. They may write you a prescription maybe for your headaches, and they send you out the door. But nobody really ever talks about the root of why, the cause of maybe some of these things. Because headaches, fatigue, and digestive issues could come from anywhere. Anywhere. They might ask you about your diet. What if your physical health issues are coming from burnout? Because stress can do that. Maybe it's not what you ate. Maybe it's not perimenopause. And maybe you do need to drink more water, but maybe that's not the cause. Yeah. Signs. It's time to pause and reassess. Losing your patience quickly with your child or your partner, or anybody for that matter. Come over and ask you, hey, what's for dinner? Why are you always asking me what's for dinner? You'll eat what I'm going to feed you. That's all that matters. Losing patience. I just asked a simple question. You're not being harassed. It's just ask a question. Take a look at what's going on. Is it time to pause and reassess? What else? Feeling like you're just surviving instead of parenting with purpose. I think every parent wants to parent with purpose. We all have an idea of what parenting with purpose looks like. But when you're in parenting survival mode, you're just trying to get through the day. Let me just hurry up and feed this person so that they can go to bed. I saw a meme on Facebook today. Let me share it with you. I saw a meme on Facebook today. It said, it's not that I have a favorite child, but there's one that I just rather not wake up in the morning. Right? Because you're just trying to survive the day. If that one right there could sleep a little bit longer, I'll just feel better. Because you're trying to survive. Nobody wants to parent like that. It might be time to pause and reassess. Sleep issues. You having sleep issues? You have trouble. You might be able to fall asleep quick, but are you waking up intermittently during the night? Are you having trouble falling asleep? Are you sleeping, but you're not getting good sleep? You're getting up in the morning, you're still tired, you still feel like you could sleep for 3 more hours? Are you having sleep issues? You feel like you need a sleep aid or you need a sleeping pill from your doctor? When you talk to your doctor about it, they're like, "Oh, I don't know how old are you? Or maybe it's perimenopause. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Maybe you should lose some weight. Maybe it's time to pause and reassess. Maybe you're experiencing some burnout. Could be that. Yeah. Signs it's time to pause and reassess. You find it hard to relax. Have you ever done that? Have you ever said, you know what? I'm gonna take a me day. I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna watch my favorite movie. I'm gonna sit here with my snacks, and my mom is gonna take the kids for the day, and I'm gonna do whatever I want, or I'm gonna go take a walk. And you can't relax. Have you? Yeah, that's a thing. It's not just you. So what can we do about it? Now we know what burnout looks like. Maybe you didn't even know you were burnt out, but now you do. What do we do about it? Got it. Create micro breaks throughout the day. Because whenever you are trying to relax and you find it hard to relax, it's because your body is not even used to relaxing. You're trying to relax and you don't even know how. It's like you forgot how to relax. Your brain can't even slow down. It's why you can't sleep. So you have to train yourself to take breaks and to relax on a regular basis. Create micro breaks throughout the day. Even 10 minutes of calm matters. Create that. Put that in your day and force it. Don't tell me you don't have time. I'm telling you to create that. It's necessary. Next, delegate and drop non-essential tasks. Start saying no unapologetically. Delegate, this is 2 parts. Delegate and drop non-essential tasks. But Teray, I'm already behind on my chores. How can I drop non-essential? All my tasks are essential. Whenever I say non-essential tasks, I'm talking about don't go to the grocery store, order your groceries. I had a conversation with somebody some months, maybe a year or so ago. And she was trying to determine if it was worth it to order groceries because it's an extra fee. It's like an extra $10 or something. And she was like, you know what? I'd rather keep my $10. I'll just go do it myself. If I'm running errands already, if I'm out and about, I'm already in my car, I'd rather just stop by the grocery store myself. You know what? Sometimes, do you know how relieved I am when my doorbell rings and all, $80 worth of groceries are at my door and I didn't have to physically get in my car, drive through traffic 15 minutes to get to the grocery store, or 10 minutes, or however close the grocery store is. Find a parking space, walk across the parking lot, get in the grocery store, get a cart, go from aisle to aisle, pick out my groceries, stand in the line. Do you hear what I'm saying? Lug my groceries back out to the car, unload my cart, put them in. That's a non-essential. You don't have to do that. Here's $10. Here's a tip. Sometimes the money is worth you relaxing. That's 40 minutes of your life that you could be relaxing. That's worth $10, $15. Okay? And start saying no unapologetically. Somebody calls you and asks you to do something. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do that today. Start saying no unapologetically to your child. Let me tell you a secret. It is not a sin to say no to your child that has autism. It's not. Sometimes the answer is no. In fact, if anything, it'll help them. Stop saying yes to them all the time because the answer can't always be no. That, you know what? That's another live video. That's about discipline. That's another lesson for another day. Listen. Okay? Next. What else can you do about it? Talk to someone who does understand autism parenting. Talk to a coach, a therapist, a peer. Therapists are great because they help you to organize your thoughts and help you to understand what's going on with you so that you can make sound decisions for yourself and for your own life. It's great. Especially if you get a therapist that understands being a parent and especially being a parent with a child with special needs. Got it? What else? Ask for help. Consider respite care or trading time with a trusted support person. They have day programs for children with autism, teenagers, young adults with autism. Or trade time with a trusted support person. If you know another mom that has a child with special needs or with autism, then you guys can do child swaps. I was telling my husband the other day that it's actually easier to take care of more than one kid. In some instances, not all. But if you have a child with autism or a child, watching a kid is one thing. But when you bring another child in, they're playing with each other. They're over here, they're outside, they're keeping each other company, at least for a time period. And especially with a child with autism, kids with autism really don't play with each other. They'll play next to each other, but it's cool to have a friend for them. And if they don't know how to have a friend, you teach them how to have a friend. Again, that's another lesson. Okay? Next, I want you to try to organize your life. Schedule as much as you can, create boundaries and non-negotiables. A non-negotiable is creating that time for yourself. Mommy just went in her bedroom and shut the door and she locked it so you can't come in for the next 15 minutes. She is by herself with her own private snacks. That's a boundary. These are mommy's snacks. Mommy is not sharing. Don't even feel bad about it. You have your snacks. Mommy has her snacks. That's a boundary. Okay? Leave mommy and her snacks alone for the next half hour. Okay? All right. She's watching her favorite 30-minute show with her snacks in her bedroom by herself. Leave her alone. I'm speaking from experience. I used to do this. When my kids were little, they were not allowed in my bedroom. The dog wasn't allowed in my bedroom. My kids weren't allowed in my bedroom. You have the whole house to yourself. 2,000 square feet. You have your own bedrooms, the living room, a playroom. We're on a quarter of an acre of land out back. You don't need to be in my bedroom. You have access to 2 bathrooms. Why you got to be in my bedroom? When I'm not in there, they were not allowed in my bedroom. They weren't. For what? There are no toys in there. There wasn't a television in my bedroom. Why do you need to be in there? Boundaries. Teach the children. The last thing you can do about it, give your body what it needs to support you. Your body can better deal with stress when it has what it needs. Let me ask you this. Are you taking your vitamins? Are you vitamin D deficient? Are you getting enough calcium? How's your immune system? Because stress will break down your immune system. I did a live yesterday. Yesterday, I don't know if you saw it on my page. Yesterday was Mother's Day. And I did a live from a retreat hotel that I stayed at by myself. And I talked about the benefits of going away by yourself and how it can boost your immune system. Are you drinking your water? Are you getting your steps in? Give your body what it needs. You'll recover from stress better and faster. Your heart will thank you. Okay? And I'll just leave you with this 3 things. Burnout is not failure. You're human. Forgive yourself. Okay? Burnout will creep up on you when you're not looking. But it is a signal that your body and your soul need care. You're busy caring for everybody else. You're tending to their needs. Tend to yours. Okay? Second, you don't have to earn rest. You deserve it. And it's necessary. Okay? Make sure that happens. And thirdly, there is power in knowing that you can regroup, reset, and keep going with new tools. Okay? I hope this video helped you. I hope you'll make some changes to help you moving forward. And as a result, it'll help your family moving forward. Like this video for me. And make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.